So welcome to the brief demonstration of the KA Imaging Reveal 35C DICOM software. It's called DiscoverMed, and my name's Jay. I'm the application specialist, so I'll be running you through a brief demo of how the software works for the end user. So this is the initial screen that everyone will see upon logging in, and you'll notice at the top, it's divided into categories. There's 3 categories here that split up all of the tasks that the end user would have to accomplish. So patient, X-ray, and list. At the bottom here, you'll see support mode and configuration. These are the places that the super user would go to set up the panel initially, or to make any changes to the background. So under support mode, you can see here, this is where you would begin to initially set up the detector when it first comes in. So selecting your generator, the sensor, creating a workstation, establishing connectivity to the work list and the PAC system. All of that is accomplished through here. It's very easily done, offers a lot of customizability. Back at the main menu here, configuration. This is where super users can access the portion of the software where they can create exams, create protocols, and match the imaging software to all of the institutional protocols. You'll see here it's at the bottom divided into 3 categories: adult, child, and infant. For the purposes of today, we'll go into the adult. So you see here, everything in red is an actual, they call it a macro. That's an exam bundle or a protocol, for example, 2 views of the chest. Anything in gray is an individual view or a specific exam, like a PA view of the chest. The best place to begin is, for example, by selecting your given exam. And these tabs here at the top, they allude to all the different parameters that you can set by default per that exam. So you can select to have it always create both a soft tissue and a hard tissue image. You can select it to just produce DR images if that's what your institution wants. And we have a number of different processing algorithms here that, depending on how you like the images to look, you can change that up to see more detail or less detail, and to kind of meet the subjective needs of whoever the viewing physician is. The main portion of the program, of course, is at the top here. So we'll begin by entering this screen here. Now, most hospitals, the vast majority of hospitals and clinics will have a work list. It's a simple matter of hitting this button. I here, of course, I don't have my computer here at a hospital, so I'm not connected to a work list, but it's as simple as clicking that. All of your cases will load on the left, and you just pick the appropriate one. In our case, we're just going to enter emergency here. There's a handy little tool here that you can activate or deactivate depending on if you want the reminder or not. It'll prompt you to ask whether the patient's pregnant or not. In this case, it doesn't matter. And again, we're in the phase here where we're building our exam. So again, we'll go into the adult here. For example, I've loaded up views of the shoulder here. If they have a chest, you can add that in. If you hit something by mistake, it's a simple matter of just deleting it there. You can load in multiple types of the same view. If you don't like the order they're in, you can simply rearrange them if you wanted to do the lateral first in this case, or 2 laterals first, whatever the case may be. And you can always delete anything or add it on after you've taken a picture. If you acquire an image and you need another one, or it's not good enough, you can simply go back and add another one. So for the purposes of the demonstration, I'll simply load one PA view of the chest, edit, We've seen this. That just allows you to add more or to change the exam that you pulled up. When you're ready to expose, you'll enter this screen. So grid in or out. Of course, if you have a grid, it ups the MAS here. AEC, chamber selection, and focal spot size. So it's a simple matter of selecting your technique and making your exposure. So upon making our exposure, you'll see here 3 images will come up. We have the DR image, the soft tissue image, and the hard tissue image. So the tools here at the bottom, you'll notice they're very familiar in terms of zoom in or out, rotate, brightness up or down, the masking tool, white point selection for region of interest, undo changes, all the standard tools you would expect to see. So in this case, I'm just going to simply brighten it up like that. Once you get the DR image to your liking and with sufficient detail, the brightness and the contrast is correct, we'll enter the adjustment for the soft tissue image. Now, in this case, it's very dark. It's simply a matter of going into the subtraction and backing it off in this case. And you can see there much better. And as we go, you can see the lungs start to come out, the ribs disappear. So now it's been set to sufficient level of detail with the lungs. The ribs are almost completely non-existent. We can set that as a default. So out of the gate, these changes will be applied to each patient of this size. I'll set that. With our hard tissue, it's a simple matter of applying the same changes. In this case, I know that I'm probably going to have to reduce the subtraction. So I'll begin to lower it in larger increments. I can still see lungs, so I know I'll need to go further. So I'll back it off a bit further. In this case, we're getting better. We're almost there. I'm simply going to use the finer adjustment tool now to keep going. And we'll notice the lung detail is starting to fade out. And now we're at a sufficient level of detail here. We can see through the cardiac silhouette into the thoracic spine, and the bones themselves show sufficient detail without any overlapping from the lungs. So again, we'll set that as our default. The study's done. If, for example, we make an error, we forgot to put a marker on, or we want to change something else about the image, it's a simple fact of going to the list tab, pulling up the relevant case by hitting X-ray, and we re-enter the case. All of the images will get flipped back to their original rotation. And we can apply any markings that we want, annotations back, finish the study, and it's gone again. So that's a quick brief demo for the end user of the DiscoverMed Reveal 35C DICOM software.